seeing the intensity and just the pace of games pick up at this point in the season?
No, I mean, we know we're in a good spot, and every game, rest of the season is going to be very important. So, yeah, starts tonight at home, and we need to take care of it.
Early on when Todd came, you guys were beating teams, holding them down as far as the number of goals per game go. Now over the last 6 games, 5 of them, the opposition scored 4 or more. What's changed defensively?
I don't know if anything changed. I think we maybe been a little bit sloppy and giving up 2 easy goals. So I think we worked on it, and I think we have to get back to where we were before last couple of games and shut down plays early and don't give up that many goals.
Yeah, when you say you've worked on it, what are some of the things you're focusing on?
No, I mean just around the net, taking away sticks, taking away bodies, make sure our goal is get to see the puck and own the area around our own net.
How enjoyable has this been for you right now, playing this kind of hockey?
No, I mean it's fun. You want to play, you want to win games with the group, and I think last couple of months been really fun.
Thanks.
Yeah, for sure. I had never really played down there before, so it was definitely an adjustment. I think it's worked out well. I like the spot. I think our power play has a threat at every position, so it makes it that much easier. I think, if you're missing that one piece, it can make it a lot harder for, each position to really thrive. But we definitely have those guys who, really make it work and make it tick. And obviously Lark's in the middle is unbelievable, and that's, hard to come by. So, I think he's one of the best in the league at playing the bumper, and obviously scores a lot of goals from there too. So, I think, it was a good fit with the personnel we have, and, I've had fun down there.
Todd was talking today about how hard you are on your stick and tough to knock off. Like, how much of a point of pride is that, and when did that kind of become a big part of your game?
I think since I was little, I was always playing against people who were bigger than me and older than me. So, I had to find other ways to be effective and I don't know, just try to play smarter than everyone else. And I think that's something I've always never really turned down from anyone. I think at certain points in my career, maybe. Fell off of that a little bit, and obviously you need some time to reset and get back to the game that makes you successful. So I think that's what I've been trying to do is hound pucks and really make it hard on their D and turn over pucks, and that's when we can play in the O-zone, and I think that's when we're best. Especially our line is best when we turn over pucks and can get those chances. I think makes us most effective.
When you're on a roll like you are right now individually, is that something you can feel when you're out there that the puck's been going in for you and all that, or?
Yeah, I think you feel the bounces and the chances come your way, and obviously the confidence too. I think a big part of the game is confidence, and when you're feeling good out there, you can maybe get away with a little bit more. It's when it's not going very good. It's where you need to keep that confidence and still feel good about getting chances and doing all the right things. So I think there's ways to balance each one.
As far as the offense is going, things are clicking there, but how much focus right now is there, Alex, on things at the defensive end, tightening things up, especially in front of the net and battles in the corners and that sort of thing that are leading to some goals against?
Yeah, definitely a big emphasis on that. I think the Columbus game at home, we gave up way too much net presence. We didn't, we just were a little bit sloppy in that area and not blocking shots from the point, and it obviously ended up in our net quite a bit. So that's a big thing that we've been doing a good job at and kind of slipped away from us a little bit. So we'll get back to that tonight and get back in the win column.
When things do slip like that, how much importance is put on guys understanding things can't slip at this point in time? There are no shifts off at this point in time because every shift is so valuable.
Yeah, I think that's a great point that Todd gives to us. I think you got to play full 60, your hardest you can, and I think each shift is so important. It could change the game. So I think that's something we know, and we got to really dig in here to these last 22 games.
Thank you.
Todd? Other than, it looks like Lyon's starting, but other than that, any other lineup changes? Is everybody available?
Rass is not available, so he continues to stay out. Obviously, Kopp is done for the season, so, and Petrie is still out. So everybody else is available, and we'll likely keep the same lineup as we had in Game 2 of that Columbus series.
Has there been a timeline update for Petrie?
I'm sorry?
Is there even more clarity on
He's starting to skate. Yeah, he's starting to skate, which is a real good sign, and we hope that he recovers quick and is back in the lineup, but it won't be soon.
Todd, in your conversations with Steve this week, just pertaining to the trade deadline, how much does the chemistry on the team come into conversation, and maybe an unwillingness to mess with it when it's overall been as good as it has been since Christmas?
Well, we talk every day, so the swings or the dramatic, if it was you and me, Helene, we went for lunch every 2 weeks, there would be a big swing from the first time we had lunch to the second time, because there are lots of ups and downs. When it's just daily, there's not a lot of movement with chemistry or issues. There's little things that pop up, and we talk about them all the time. I know that he believes in this group, and that he wants to, do whatever he can to help this group. But the players that put the jerseys on tonight have to get the job done. We aren't sitting in the coach's room. The players shouldn't be sitting in the locker room thinking that the cavalry's coming. They've clearly shown to each other that they have the ability to win some games and string things out. A lot of things have to go right. They have to play well. But we have a lot of tools in that locker room right now.
Hey Todd, good to see you. Brent Burns speaks often about how much he loves you, and what are your reflections about your time together, and why did a coach and a player, why did it mesh so well?
Well, he, as you know, is quite a character. And every team needs some character. And that can be, character means the toughness and the blocking shots. And then there's also character and the personality and the love of the game and dragging people into the fight. And I'm not sure Burnsy's had many bad days, and I appreciate that in him. He's got a great family. He's a good family guy. But the character that he brought, and probably still brings, I'm sure, to the rink all the time, was infectious. It rubbed off on us as a coaching staff. It rubbed off on his teammates. And, there's times where we wonder, does this player really love playing hockey? Or is it more like work for him? And the guys that really, truly love it, they play forever, and they just show up at the rink and give me more. That's Burnsy. So why did it work? I think because we appreciated that. His character's very loose yet welcoming. And it goes back a long, long way for he and I. I had him as a 18 or a 19-year-old in Houston. He was coming out of junior, and Minnesota assigned him there. So he's gone from a boy to a young man to a man to whatever he is now. He'll give you the answer for that. But, he's a character.
Hey, Todd, what kind of test does this team present to you guys in their unique pressuring style? Like, what might they reveal about your group tonight?
Well, I hope that we, in turn, reveal how we handle those things. We'll have a game plan. They play 4 lines and 6 defensemen of the same type of hockey over and over and over again. There's the pre-scout is not a difficult one. It's the actual action of playing against them that makes it difficult. Rod's done a really good job of creating that, and they found good players to complement it. And so they pose some problems maybe that other teams don't. Their forecheck and their volume shooting makes a big difference. But I'd like to think that we're prepared for that, or we will be prepared for that, and we can counter it. But we all have to take the test. We're going to get to the classroom and sit down at the desk to take the test and see what the grade is at the end of the night. I'd like to think we can pass.
Does it surprise you as a coach looking at the league and all that? They've had a lot of success. They've won a lot of games that other teams, there hasn't been someone who's tried to copycat them?
Well, I think there's teams that have tried to copycat them, but you know, Babs, when he was here, I was with him. He said Robin do everybody that's having some sort of success. The other teams are watching them and they're trying to steal pieces. You know, if you have good pitching, you win low-scoring games. If you have big bats, you swing for the fences. You don't always have the pieces to play the same way. Sometimes the approach and mentality is a little bit different, but I can tell you there's teams that have tried to steal from them and in turn, hopefully from us, and it's just the way the league goes.
Hey, Todd, you've been here a couple months. Have you noticed the difference between the East and the West? Different styles maybe or something?
Yeah, I think so. The schedule is different, so that is a big thing. We're one and out and then come back. Obviously out west we're gone for 5, 6, 7 games sometimes, and then you get back home and your off days are usually more relaxed. You're coming back to a practice just like we just had now. Here you go out for one, you come back, you have an off day, you're playing again right away. So that whole rhythm is different. It may be a little more grinding out west and pace out here. You know, I don't know if I'm accurate on that. That's a feeling that I have. Keep in mind, I was removed. You know, I hadn't been in the West since last February, and there's a lot of transition in players and types of teams. And take Rantanen was playing out west, now he's playing out here. Like it changes.
Following the first Columbus game, you talked about not seeing enough sellout as far as shot blocking goes, defending the net front. When it comes to tightening up your defensive side of play, what's your focus right now?
Well, that was that night. I thought it was much better in Columbus. As I said, that was a 48-hour game, basically. We had to fix things, we had to address them, and I thought the players did a good job of that. But overall, that number 3 is important to us, and we haven't been able to keep it at 3, whether it's an empty net goal that gets somebody there or power play goal that gets another team over the top, 5 versus 6 goals. We've broken it all down, and it's not just 5-on-5 play. It's really random. There isn't one area. I would have said a little bit of D-zone coverage behind the net on a few plays, but we've been able to address that. So it's random. We just have to tighten up all over, and for me, manage moments and situations better. Just flat out do that.
Alex DeBrincat hadn't played that low on the power play, the goal line role prior to this season. I know he was already doing it when you got here, but what do you think has made him so effective in that spot?
It's pretty consistent. His whole game has been consistent. There hasn't been a real dip or anything like that in his overall game. He just comes to the rink and he does it over and over again. And where we have him right now, it complements the other hands and the movement. He's got a knack for finding garbage, if you will, and that's usually where the garbage is. A lot of guys can find it and they don't know what to do with it after that. He's able to shoot it through legs and stuff like that into the net. You know, so those are some of his real assets. But smart player and competitive. He can go get pucks back as well.